Hello guys, welcome to our channel Raw and Basic. So in this video we will learn how to compute your simple interest. So first, let us define your simple interest. So simple interest denoted by I sub S is defined as the interest that is computed on the principal and it remains constant throughout the term. Okay, on the other video, I have discussed the terms such as the term and principal. So now let us deal with some problems involving your simple interest. So in computing your simple interest, we will be using this equation or formula. I sub S equals P R T, or simple interest equals principal times rate times time or term. Or below we have here where I sub S equals simple interest, P equals your principal, R is for your interest rate, and T for the term or time in years. In years. Okay? So let's go on our first example on how to solve for your simple interest. Given example, we have your principal or P equals to 10,000 pesos, rate which is equals to 2.75%, and T or time or term equals 1 year. Okay, so again, in computing your simple interest, we will be using I sub S is equal to P R T. Okay? But first, let us identify your given. So we have your principal, your rate, and your time. So if you can see your rate is 2.75%. So probably the first step is to convert your 2.75% into decimal form. So that will be 0.0275. Okay, so I will discuss this 2.75% per cent. Okay, percent. So per means divide. The term cent means 100 or 100. So it means 2.75 divided by 100. Okay, so to get this decimal form of 0.0275, you have to divide 2.75 by 100, and that will give you 0.0275. Or if you will delete the 0, the value is still the same, but to make it more pretty or prettier, and to identify that there is a decimal point, we are putting 0 in here. But again, getting the 0, the value is the same. So again, we'll just put 0 in there to identify that we have a decimal point and to make it more presentable. Okay? Or if you can just move your decimal, because if you can see on your 100, we are dividing your number with 100 with 2 zeros, so we will move 1 to decimal places, and that will give you this 0.0275. or 275 ten thousandths with PHS on it. So tens, hundreds, thousands, ten thousands. 275 ten thousandths. Okay? Or to read it as 0.0275 is okay. So I guess you have learned something from this term percent. So let us now focus on solving or computing your I sub s or your simple interest. So the first step again is convert your rate, which is on the percentage form, convert it into decimal form and substitute. So substitute to your formula or equation. I sub s times p. P is equal to 10,000 times, using your parentheses, R is 2.75% or 0.0275 times 1. Okay, so our first example is very easy and basic. So just compute it using your calculator, or you can compute it manually. So it will give us 275 pesos. So we will put this peso sign, or in some cases, if the money is on any currency, or example pesos, dollars, or any currency or unit of measurement for money. Okay? So for our first example, your simple interest is 275. Given your principal, which is 10,000, your rate of interest is 2.75%, and your T, term or time, is 1 year. Okay, so let us proceed to another example. Okay, for our second example, let us try to solve for the simple interest. Given your principal is 10,000, your rate is 2.75%, and your time or term is 18 months. So as you can see, your principal and your rate is the same as with our first example. So I give this example for us to distinguish what process shall we do when your time is on months. Okay? Because it is stated in here that term or time should be in years. Okay? So let us try to solve this example number 2. Again, the equation that we will use is I sub s is equal to P, or simple interest is equal to principal times rate times time. Okay? So your principal is 10,000 here, times your rate, which is 2.75, and that is equals to 0.02.75. Then your time is 18 months. So in cases such as the time is given on months, or in months, we should divide it by 12, because the time should be in unit of years. So there are 12 months in 1 year. So we have 18 divided by 12. Using your calculator, you can get 1.5, or shall we say 1 year and 6 months, or 1.5 years, or in decimal, we will have 1.5 years. Okay? 18 months again is 1 year and 6 months. Okay? Or shall we say 1.5 year, or 1/2 is equal to 0.5. That is 1.5 or 1.5. Or using your calculator, just divide 18 months by 12. So we get 18 divided by 12, we have 1.5. So basic. Okay? Then we have to substitute. I sub s, simple interest, is equal to principal, which is 10,000, times rate, which is equal to 0.0275, and time is equal to 1.5 years or 18 months. Then we have to multiply. You can use your calculators and encode or input and hit equals. So 10,000 times 0.0275 times 1.5 will give you the figure of 412.50 pesos. So you have 412 pesos and 50 centavos. Given your principal, which is equal to 10,000, your rate is 2.75%, and the time of 18 months. Okay, so I guess that you have learned on how to compute your simple interest. So let us go to another example. Third example, let us try to solve this problem on the board. So what are the amounts of interest and maturity value of 25,000 pesos investment at 12% simple interest for 5 years? So let us follow the steps in solving this problem. So first, let us identify the given information or data. So we have here, your investment is 25,000 pesos, and that will be your principal. So P is equal to 25,000 pesos. Your rate is 12%. And your time T is equal to 5 years. Okay? Then the required, or the things that we need to solve, are the interest and the maturity value. Okay? So the interest, or shall we say, to be specific, we will try to solve for the simple interest and the maturity value. Okay, so maturity value is also known as your future value. Okay? So for your solution, we will be using the equation I sub s equal to PRT, or P times R times T, in solving your simple interest. Okay? So we will just substitute the given values. So your principal is 25,000 times your rate, which is 12%, or in decimal we have 0.12. So you can get 0.12 by dividing 12 into 100. So 12 divided by 100 is 0.12. Okay? So again, you have to convert 12% into decimal. Okay? And to convert this 12%, just divide 12 by 100 and you will get 0.12. Substitute. Okay? Then your time is 5. Okay? So the principal, the rate, and the time is necessary or requisite data for us to solve for your interest or simple interest. Without these three things, we cannot solve your simple interest. So after substituting, you can multiply manually or using your calculators. So we will have, or we'll get 15,000 pesos. Peso sign. Okay. So now we have your simple interest. And now let us solve for the maturity value or your future value. So future value or maturity value is equal to principal plus your interest. Okay? In some books, you can use FV to denote future value. Or in some books, they are using MV to denote maturity value. So again, maturity value and future value are the same. Okay? But in my case, I am using F to denote these things. So F is equal to future value or maturity value. Okay? So to be very basic, when we say the future value is the total amount of money, adding your principal and your interest. Example, you have 10 pesos as a capital for your business and you have a profit of 5 pesos or 5, so you will get 15. So very basic. Your future or maturity value is 15, your principal is 10, your interest is 5. Okay? Basic concept. So using these things, let us try to solve for the maturity value F. So again, it is up to the book that you are using to denote this F, future value or maturity value. So your principal is 25,000 plus your interest is 15,000. So at the end, you will have 40,000 pesos, adding 25,000 and 15,000 pesos. Okay? So for your conclusion, therefore, the investment will earn 15,000 pesos. And the total amount of money or investment will become 40,000 pesos at the end of 5 years. Okay? So that will be your conclusion. So therefore, the investment will earn 15,000 pesos and the total amount of money will become 40,000 pesos at the end of 5 years at 12% interest rate. So you can add at 12% interest rate. Okay? So I guess that you have learned something in this video. Please subscribe. Thank you so much and stay safe.